when my Latina mother found out about fans, she contacted me and was like, why aren't you doing this? I go, you can't be serious. And she was like, no, like, how much do they make? And I told her actual figures, like dollars and cents, because that's really what matters to her.
Yeah,
and
I get it.
Literally.
Me too.
And yeah, me too. And I said to her, I was like, look, Mom, if I had the body that they're searching for, it would have been yesterday. And I would have called you. We could have, it would have been great. Yeah.
She said lock in.
She said lock in.
Lock in.
No, she said lock.
She said there's a market for everything. Lock in.
She said lock in. And yeah, I didn't lock in though because I like In-N-Out too much. So
me too. We
do
love In-N-Out.
I like In-N-Out too much, so I couldn't lock in. But one day you'll see me on the platform. Hopefully,
maybe you guys,
and I'll make Mom proud.
Yeah, or like Patreon, we could do like a 5th tier.
Only tip.
Only tip. Yeah, 4th tier.
Only
5th tier.
tip.
Yeah.
I don't know that the people really are searching for that.
Maybe they are.
You know what we could do? Instructional videos.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Well, people have been asking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, maybe one day. Welcome, Gay Nation. Today we have a wonderful queer in this space. She is a rapper and actress. You have probably seen her face. If you haven't, you need to become familiar. We have a star here in our presence. Please welcome Regan Aaliyah to our program.
That was like the best intro that I've ever gotten.
We love to
hear that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Everyone else would be like, oh, yeah, she does a couple of things, Regan. And I'm like, okay. Like, that was solid.
Oh, my God. You do everything, and we are obsessed with you.
I try.
We have done full stalking in a very platonic way of all of your stuff, and we're in awe of what you do.
I'm one of those people where you stalk and then it's like the lore starts to become embarrassing.
No,
like it's
why?
like weird things come up where somebody will post like, you were in this, and I'm like, I was? And it's like really embarrassing. So now when people say that, I'm like, I'm scared.
No.
I'm scared. Like start at like 2021 and I'm like, that's good. That's as far as we can go.
Okay, so post 2021,
Life was good.
yeah, you're killing the game with the fits, with the makeup looks that are just on fire.
Oh,
I
thank
melt.
you.
You did a checkered one. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh my God.
Pink checker.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Tallulah is our stalker aficionado extraordinaire.
I get carried away.
Oh my
I do.
God.
She goes deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was when it was quarantine and there was nothing to do.
I think it was 2020 or
Yeah.
2019. I do. It was great because I was doing the same thing. Obviously not to that extent. Like I don't know how to do that, but I tried. It was really fun. Like makeup, all of that. So when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, Tippy, you have no idea.
So
That
what
was
you're
the
saying
era
is you couldn't get to Reagan's
No,
level.
I couldn't get
You
there.
definitely could.
Yeah.
I was rocking pink eyebrows in that time.
Ugh,
just,
love it.
Just because.
What do you use to get pink eyebrows?
I was using eyeliner and my eyebrows would be like sticky and I'd be like,
But
it's
that's
all
what
right.
people do. They put like wax on it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Can I ask a dumb question?
Oh, here we
as
go.
the person who doesn't use makeup here.
Yep.
How do you remove that off of your eyebrow?
Scrub.
Like
Scrub. What kind of scrub? Like a sea salt scrub or?
like micellar water, I feel like maybe.
Yeah, I use like
Really?
any like oils,
Yeah.
like cleansing oils.
I sleep
The
in my makeup.
micellar
I'm
water. So
bad.
I had an incident with micellar water.
Okay.
I did. So I was mating with a woman and she left her micellar water at my home. And then we ended. And then another woman came to my home, and it was like she knew really that I don't, and so she knew someone had cooked there. She knew, she was like, "Someone's cooked here. Like, whose micellar water was this?"
Micellar.
I was about to say you really
Isn't that what it's called?
you pronounce it
Micellar.
so hard.
Micellar water.
Micellar.
No. I don't know.
Micellar.
So why did somebody have to cook there? Like, how does she know that you weren't into that? Like,
I
you
think
weren't
the way
like,
she said it,
like, that's
That's enough for me. I would
Like,
be like,
because
no,
she came and
that's
she
not
was
yours.
like, she was like,
Not yours.
She had asked, she was like, "Do you have any, I don't know, makeup,
said no.
whatever?" And I said no, and then she went thrifting in my
your
stuff,
cabinet.
in my cabinet. And she was like, what is this? And I was like,
I don't know what
I
that
don't know what
is."
that is. I'm like the worst liar that
Okay.
like there is.
Then you were better. There's just tell the truth. Just someone cooked here.
No, I
I
wish
say
I
it's
could
better
lie.
that way. I don't act like that.
I
but
wish
it's
I could
better that
lie.
way. No, it's not
I
good.
do.
Yeah, that's not. It's not a. Don't. It's
No,
a
I
good
wanna
thing that
be
you're
better.
not good at lying.
Sometimes it helps though. To
It
be a
does
good liar.
It does help. I'm sorry, but it gets people, and I've seen it get friends out of really sticky situations,
Right.
especially in Gay Nation, where it gets sticky.
It can.
You've seen it.
I've seen.
But I just don't have that foresight to
Really?
like bring it
No,
up.
she just says like.
It's diarrhea of
No,
the
what
mouth.
did you say the other? You said it another day
You're just
too.
honest. You're
Yeah,
honest.
she just
There's
thinks
nothing
like,
wrong
oh,
with
it's
that.
cold outside. I should just get a jacket.
You're like,
You know, it's like very like if this then this. Like,
It's my way of thinking.
yeah, it's good though.
Yeah. My girlfriend right now calls it shim energy.
shim.
Yeah, like she, him,
Oh,
shim, true shim.
Shim
Yeah,
energy.
energy.
Shim
Where like
energy.
I just don't think about. But dudes lie.
I know.
They're good liars.
I know a bunch of dude liars.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Dudes
you do
lie.
too.
They do that
I
for
do.
a
I
living.
know the best dude liars.
Yeah.
Every single one for a living.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's a lot of liars in all areas of the.
I'm a great liar. I think that's also acting.
I was gonna say
I'm
you
like,
probably
it
could
makes
kill
it like really like, but I think it was like school, which made me good at lying because I was like, I don't want to be here.
Same,
like, I
same,
have
same.
no desire to be here. So it was always like, what lie can I, conjure up to get out of these situations? Like, I was out of school for 3 weeks because like I lied about something and I was like, I'll
That's
come
so
back when I
smart.
come back. So I just lied about everything in school and I got away with everything.
You know, now that you're saying that, I'm realizing I lied a lot in school too.
That's
like
where-
I had
that's
a
the root of
migraine.
it.
Like I would lie, say I have a migraine, I have all these things, and I would double down. I would take the med, fully knowing I don't have a migraine. I got like a prescription for like 2 years because like every week she had a migraine.
You know, I asked you about this and I said, what's the origin story of your incredible lying? Because
don't
Tallulah is an
know.
admitted incredible gaslighter and liar.
Not the gaslighting.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
I
no,
did.
so, yeah,
Wait,
no.
that's a red
But
flag.
to preface, she gaslights men.
Oh, that's,
Yes,
that's
it's
valid.
totally
sport.
fine.
Never
For
mind.
sport.
It's
yeah.
funny.
That's valid.
I'm
That's
sorry.
very valid.
It's
She
funny.
loves to gaslight a man.
It should be a sport.
Yeah,
That's
well,
how
it
I
is
feel.
for sport. Yeah. But I asked you, what's the origin story of this? And I think that we've just stumbled across the root that you learned these skills and honed your trade in school.
Yes.
That's
and I
where it comes
never
from.
thought of that. I never thought of that. Because that was such a young age, too, where it's like, I'm going to the doctor's office and I'm 7 and I know I don't have a migraine, dude. Like, I know. And they're like, well, we're going to have to use this really tough prescription. And like, you have to take it every day. I'm like, that's fine.
You're like, you know
I have
what?
a migraine. I'm not going to
Let's do it.
school.
What's the best lie that you told in school?
Oh, there was a time that I didn't want to go to class, so I literally yanked my friend's crutches and came to that other class with the crutches, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, guys, I literally can't. But a good lie in school.
It's research for a part.
That one's really
It's
good.
research.
And I would act it down. Like, there was nothing that people could do or say to like take me out of it. I'm like, once I've said this lie, I'm committing to the bit
I love
all
it.
the way down. So I was sitting next to like my best friend in school, and the first day of that class, we knew it was a problem because I walked in and it was like everyone I knew was in that class, and I was like, here we go. And
Yeah.
I already was a person that was sent out of class 24/7. Like, I didn't want to be there. And so we're a kiki and next to each other, like, life is funny, life is great. And she's like, Regan, please stop talking. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm doing my work. We like laugh again. She was like, Regan, this is the last time I'm going to tell you. I'm like, okay, girl, keep writing my stuff, blah, blah, blah. Boom, my pencil breaks. And so now I'm just like, oh, this is really like an actual issue. So I go to my friend. I'm like, hey, can I borrow your mechanical pencil? She had those good mechanical pencils, the ones that you would like find on the ground and keep. Yeah. So she had a good mechanical pencil and she was handing it to me. And this lady like stops like the little presentation thing
no.
and starts screaming at me like, yeah, no, Regan, you know. And I was like, whoa, girl, I needed a pencil. Like, this time was not even valid. Like, you are calling me out on the wrong things. So we got into this whole argument because you yelled
That's
at me,
crazy.
I'm going to yell at you, right? So we're yelling back and forth, and she's like, get out of here. And so, like, I'm like, whatever. So I take my bag. The whole class is laughing because it's me being sent out. And so I'm like, okay. So I'm putting my stuff real slow because she's like, I'll wait. So I was like, okay, you will wait. So I'm like,
wait.
I love this. You will wait.
I'm packing my bag real slow. I put it over my shoulder, and I'm like, bye, guys. oh, missed you so much. And my friend's like dying laughing. She goes to my friend. She was like, fine, if you're going to laugh, go with her. And she was like, I was about to ask. And my friend's now packing her bag and she takes it. And so we walk out and now we're just like walking in the halls, like laughing. She told us to go to the principal's office. So we go to the principal's office and we're sitting there. She calls the principal as soon as we sit down and was like, they ditched school. They're walking down the street, blah, blah, blah. And so it was like on the speaker thing.
She's a snitch.
Right. But it was also weird.
But like a lying
She was
snitch.
hoping that you guys
Right,
would
and the
leave.
thing is, it crossed my mind, but I was like, I know what type of person you are. Like, if I go do that, you're gonna go and get me into a huge thing,
Oh
and I'm
my
like, I can't be
God.
expelled. I can't do that.
Right.
And so
There's
it was
a
on
line.
speaker, and I was like, actually, miss, I'm in this office. I'm here. Like, you're wrong. And so then she's like, oh, she's actually here. And so the principal calls my mom, right? And so now this is the part where we're a little bit like, ooh, this is like, ew. So I'm not as scared because I'm like, my mom's not picking up because she assumes when the school calls her, it's saying that I was late to class or absent. And I was always late to school every single day of school. So she was like, block.
Yeah.
I know where they're calling. So I'm like, oh, I'm chilling. She calls, no answer. I'm like, great. My friend had a strict parent. One of them really, really strict, and the other one's kind of lenient. And so while she's sitting there, she was like, oh, what number do you have on file? And then the lady reads off the number, and it happened to be the strict parent's number. And she was like, oh, that's not it anymore. Can you actually put this one? Calls her dad, and the dad's the lenient parent. And
That's
is
a
that the
smart
word?
move.
Yeah, lenient.
Yeah, okay,
Lenient, yeah.
So calls him. Loud music is blasting in the back of the call. And he's like, what? What's wrong? Who are you calling about? And just hangs up the phone. And the principal's like, well, I don't know what to do. So she's like, go back to class. I was like, okay. So at that point, the principal has other stuff to do. She's not fact checking.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's take our stuff, leave the school, and we go to her dad's house that was down the street.
Oh my God.
He's over
That's a
there
perfect
playing
idea.
music, having a good time. And he was like, why are you guys here so early? And I was like, oh, we got kicked out of class. Like, what are you doing? And so we just are eating food and blah, blah, blah. The teacher ends up calling the dad's phone directly.
Oh, she's
being
crazy.
Like, no, like she was stalking us at this point.
Yeah.
So I ended up taking the phone and I was like, girl, you gotta give it a rest. Like, you gotta give it up. Like, this is now scary. Like,
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I was like, you're stalking my whole life. Like, please leave me alone. Like, I was kicked out of your class. Why would you want me back? I'm just
like,
gonna
you're
talk
free.
anything. Like, it's doing too much. Long story short, she ended up quitting because of me. And I was like, I'm so sorry. It wasn't just because of me. She was having a tough time in that.
It probably takes more than that. Or if
She's having
that
a
was
really
it, then
tough
maybe
time.
you shouldn't be a teacher.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I just was always running back and forth. That was a whole story with no real point except to show the fact that I was just doing my own thing.
No, I love it. I love that.
But also, I wasn't giving teachers a hard time unless they deserved it.
Right,
I was
totally.
really, really like, there's so many teachers that to this day will like follow me on Instagram and like will be like, I'm so proud of you, and like vice versa. I'm like, I've gone up to schools I've like gone to and like talked to the kids and stuff, and I'm like, love those teachers down. Her, I did not love because she was problematic from day one too. So I was like, I know where this is. Like, we're not gonna get along.
No, she sounds crazy.
Yeah, no, she was.
I would
She
lose
was.
it.
And crazy always has to be met with crazy back.
Right.
It's true.
I always say go crazier when you're met with crazy.
Yes,
And
you have
then
to.
you got to like scare the crazy a little bit.
That's what I was taught from a young age.
Me too.
Act scarier.
Yeah. Would you, so if you had a child, would you ride for your kid? Would you lie for your kid?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah, unless my kid did something where I was really like, all right now, like,
If it was really horrible.
I'm sorry if my kid was like bullying somebody, like, no, I can't handle that. I would-
Yeah, we're anti-bully.
But like
yeah.
anything else, like you're selling candies at the school and you have like a system down where like you pack 6 in a
Right.
baggie and you're selling it for like $10 and the kids are dumb enough to pay for it.
Yep.
Go off.
That's an entrepreneur.
Yes, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
an
I'm
entrepreneur,
proud
and
of
I
you.
respect the
I'm proud of
hustle
you.
on that. Yeah, I'm very proud of you.
Yep.
And, you know, we can talk about like a business structure.
Yeah, like the principals get mad about that stuff or whatever, but
Yeah.
I would be like, I'm sorry, I told them to.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I did that as well in school.
Yes.
You know?
Because I used to
It
buy it from a
happens.
kid at my school.
There's always the
where you're
kid.
getting it.
There's
Yes.
always the kid that just has stuff.
Yes.
But I didn't have stuff. I was just selling my lunch. And I was
Yes.
like, oh, a pack of Gushers? This is $4. And then my mom was like, okay, well then give me $2
Yeah,
because
feels
I
right.
bought the whole box of Gushers. I was like, all right, okay, cool.
Yeah, like I like that. I think it's good.
Yeah, I wouldn't stand
I
for
would take
bullying.
half of the money and probably like put it in some investments is what I would do.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
my mom
smart.
she was like, this is mine. I bought the box. So I was like, okay, valid.
She went and bought a Diet Coke or something.
was
I
like,
like that too.
fine.
I would ride for my kid.
I know you would.
Yeah.
Like you get a call from a school and you would be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. They never did that.
I would. I feel like
You're
I
like-
would. Unless it was like, bullying. I can't handle it.
That's right.
That's
There's a
valid.
line.
That's
Like,
really
I
valid.
can't
That's
handle
where it's
it.
like, no.
Yeah, we're
No.
anti-bullying.
But I would tell my kid, I'm like, if a teacher's not respecting you, I'm like, that's free reign for you to stand up for yourself. Like, I believe in respecting your elders, but there's a certain point where I'm like, in a school setting sometimes, I'm like, people like are on power trips.
I was going to say it's like
And I'm
exerting
like-
power. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
it's
if a kid
unlevel.
hits you, hit him back.
Right.
100%.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
Like put him in some MMA classes
Yeah.
and like just take him down.
I also think if a kid is about to hit you, hit him first.
I get that.
Do you?
Yeah,
I get that.
I think, you know what?
I
Yeah,
think
because
that
it is
soon-
they're going into a strike. And if there is.
If they're bigger than you, like you probably should hit first.
You have to hit
if
first.
if you don't know
so
what you're doing.
smart. Yeah.
I remember being at one of my friend's house and she was like, her mom was telling us, she was like, if anyone ever comes up to you and tries to fight you, I was like, girl, we're fine. She was like, I want you to take a bracelet, take a necklace, wrap it around your fist and hit first. I was like, girl, you want us to kill this person?
Like
Like,
brass
we're literally
knuckles.
She
like,
does.
Like,
we were in
brass
middle school.
knuckles.
Like, I was like, we're performing like Bye Bye Birdie right now. I'm like, this is not going to happen. But
It's
she was
so
serious.
smart, though.
She
It's
was like,
it is
hit 'em
like these
first.
are life lessons that you have to teach the youth. Like,
That's how I feel.
do
Defend
makeshift
yourself.
brass knuckles for sure.
Yeah.
If that means
Plastic
a
beads, whatever you
plastic
want.
necklace, yeah, wrap up,
Yep.
wrap up.
I love it.
Something super cool that I want to talk about is you have an incredible role in the Marvel movie coming out, Ironheart.
Yeah.
That's
So exciting.
insane. It's
Yeah.
super cool and exciting. Did you celebrate the night that you found out that you got the part?
I wish my manager was like, so like Marvel was like my thing.
That's your dream.
It's literally my dream. Like I was a kid watching all the Marvel movies like so many other people. Like my mom is a comic book collector. Like
Aw.
it's like our family thing to go to opening nights. I've sat through like a 32-hour movie marathon of all Marvel movies at a theater.
Oh, wow. I love
like
that.
very, very serious about it. And so like anytime somebody would join my acting team, I would be like, listen, even if I just like Thanos kills me or like somebody steps on me or if I'm just running in New York away from blah, blah, I was like, I just want to be in a movie. Like that's it. Like I just want to be seen or be on the set. That's all I want. I don't even need a name, girl number 10. Like I'm fine with it.
So
And
you manifested this.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You manifested this. You put it
Absolutely.
out. You were like, I am Marvel. Marvel is me.
Absolutely. It's so funny because when I was on Club Mickey Mouse, there's a picture of me and my friend standing next to like this big Marvel like poster, and I'm standing in front of the Iron Man, and I was like, oh, they're gonna make Ironheart. Like I want to be a part of that. That's so cool, And so
Yeah.
We're
there
big
I am.
believers
Like,
in like making it happen,
making it happen,
putting it out there.
Wow.
Yeah, like it was
Gives me
literally
chills.
a dream. Like everybody knew it was a dream. And so my manager calls me and she's like talking really slow. And she was like, Regan, I'm going to send you an audition. It's untitled. It doesn't say anything. She was like, I know you want this, so take it seriously. Because I'm a person that's like, you send me a self-tape that I have to do. It's due on Tuesday. You'll get it by Friday. And, some people have these elaborate self-tape setups. And mine is a blanket thrown over the back of my couch and one little ring light. And I'm like, if you
This
feel
is
it,
me.
right, if you feel it from me, that's all. Like, why am I spending thousands of
dollars,
dollars in a production that like,
You
this
may not
is
even use.
Right. You know from jump if that person's going to be like who it is. But yeah, so she calls me and like my brain immediately goes, I'm auditioning for Marvel. That's what it is. I'm in Jersey. I'm at my girlfriend's house and we are doing something. And I was like, I can't do that. I was like, I have to lock in. And she looks at me because I'm the biggest procrastinator. So she knows too. She was like, this must be Marvel.
This is big.
And so I'm sitting over there like learning these lines. It wasn't even that long of a thing, but I was acting like this was Shakespeare. I'm like, so she says
I love
this,
that.
but it has to mean this. I'm like, I gotta do it. So I do the self-tape in her at the time in Jersey, it was like a cat's room. So there was a huge litter box next to me. The cats were coming in and meowing. And I was like, you guys, please, like, just let me have this moment. So it's all chaotic. But I finally get like the takes that I'm like, this is it. I'd send 3 takes and I send them to my manager and she was like, we're sending all 3. And I was like, period. Yeah, give them the best.
Now, do you do different versions for all 3?
Yeah, if I feel like they're different enough, they try to send 1 or 2 takes, or if like somebody's like casting's like 1 only, then it's 1. But I try to do different things so they can see that I'm like
versatile, whatever.
Yeah, like I can adapt to notes.
Great.
So it's like this one was taken with this perspective, this one was this. And it was like, honestly, like a couple days later, they were like, great, we want to get on a Zoom and do a director session. And I was like, okay, and so like, so this is the NDA because this is actually like a Marvel project. I was like, oh, I knew.
You're like, I already knew.
Like, yeah. I knew what I was doing, you know? And so I did the Zoom with the director, super, super sweet, so cool. And I'm like shaking under like the table, like my body's like literally shaking. And she was like, wow, like I don't have that many notes. And I'm like, that could be a bad thing though. Like, why don't you have notes for me? Like,
here it goes.
Why don't you have notes? And she was like, well, do you want to try it again? I was like, yeah, please let me do it again. So we do it again. She was like, oh, so amazing, blah, blah. She was like, well, that's really it. It's like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all. I click off the call and I was like, dang, like, I don't know if that was it, but like, I've manifested this, so there's no way that it can't not be
correct.
It, you know?
That's right.
So
this is it.
Right, this is it. So at the time I was on ExoKitty. Well, I'm still on ExoKitty. And so in the industry, it's like first position, second position, third position. Who kind of like owns you at that time, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So ExoKitty is my first position, Netflix. And so like, it's like I can't work on certain other projects as a series regular because their priority, you know, so they can kind of yay or nay projects. So I'm not supposed to be auditioning for any series regulars because I am a series regular on that show.
Right.
My manager was like, I get that, but this is her dream, so she's going to audition for that. Now, to get Marvel, one of the biggest companies in the world, to say we're going to be in second position is crazy, you know? So my girlfriend's acting weird like a couple days later, and I was like, either you're cheating on me or
Thumbs up.
you're proposing, what's going on? And like, I'm prepared for all of that. And so then I'm calling my manager, and my manager's not fully answering certain things too. So they were plotting together to do this whole thing of like all my family and everybody's like on this Zoom call.
The celebration that you got it.
Yeah, being like, you booked it.
Oh my God.
So instead, later that night, she calls me and she goes, I don't even know how to have this phone call with you because it's like a devastating thing. She was like, 1, you are so talented. Congratulations. You booked it. But on the other end, it is like a 95% chance that you're not going to be able to do it.
No, 95 is bad.
No, I don't like that.
I got chills.
Yeah, I got chills.
And I was like, what? Excuse me? Like, I like was already like in tears. I was like, no, there has to be a way. And she was like, right. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. She was like, that 95 means nothing to me. I'm going to figure out how to do this, but I can't give you that big moment because I do that, and to rip it away is really like cold, you know?
Yeah.
And so now it's just this big game of like, I book something, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. I obviously can't tell anybody. Like, it's only me and my girlfriend that did the self-tape that really know. My mom and all of them, she's the biggest Marvel fan, doesn't really know everything. And so it's kind of this weird limbo where I felt crazy. Like, I was I don't know what to do with myself. So like, I'm over there like on the Jersey Shore, like being like, please, like, I don't know what to do. Somebody help me.
At that point, you
like,
pray.
Yeah, like I didn't know.
My
like
God.
it was crazy. A week and a half later, my manager calls me and she was like, hey, so are you somewhere you can talk? And I was like, yeah, like I'm outside of a cheesecake factory, but I can still hear you.
The best. I love cheesecake.
Me too.
And then she was like, so that 95 has dropped down significantly where we might be able to celebrate tomorrow. And I was like, you're joking. And like ExoKitty wasn't filming at the time. Like I had just came back from Korea. So it's like, we're not going to be filming that show until a whole another year coming back, you know? So I'm like, I'm not really working, so why not? So it ended up happening where EXO is like, yeah, you know, we're in post-production. We don't need her. And Marvel being like, well, we want her, so this is gonna be this. And so after that moment, it felt like that waiting game went to the complete opposite. It was this, and all of a sudden I was in Atlanta filming.
Wow.
And I just kept being like manifestation. And then once I was filming there, a Deadline article was like, Regan added to Ironheart. And all my friends were like, you're joking. And my captions literally on Instagram, like, manifestation's a crazy thing.
It
Oh, yeah, I
really
did
is.
see that. I did see that.
And I was like, this is literally my dream. And I'm standing, and I couldn't believe it every day that I went to set. I'm like, everyone could hate me here, and I would still walk on with a smile on my face and have the best day of my life because it's my dream.
What a great
That's
attitude.
it. Like
That was my dream.
Yes.
And people were like, your dream was not like this Oscar win. I was like, no, when you love something so much as a child, it's like, that just is it. I'm like, Marvel could do a million different multiverses and stuff, and still me being a part of it is like all I wanted.
Yeah.
You know? So
You
now
are
I'm kind of like
forever etched in the universe.
right. I'm like walking and living where I'm like, oh, I'm a part of the MCU. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm a part of that. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Like, I'm not girl number 10. Like, I'm
No,
enough
you're-
where I'm on a press tour. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Which is really, really like insane. And like all of the team that produced the show, directed, all of them, like they knew how thankful I was. Like the day I wrapped, I was just boohoo crying, thinking
Yeah.
everyone being like, you made me the happiest person like ever. So now I'm like, well, what's next? Like, God, like
Yeah.
I already did it. Like,
Yeah,
what do
literally,
I do?
you got
know?
to the climax like
Yeah.
so early, but it's
Yeah.
so great because it can just keep growing.
Yeah, and now I don't really have too many. I mean, I never really had too many expectations of my career. I kind of am just like, I'm really like an it is what it is person. Like whatever comes,
Yeah.
you know? And I think it's like, it's a rejection based industry where you hear a lot of no's, where I'm like, I'm not bothered by that because if it's meant for me, it'll come, you know?
Totally.
And
So
at this
now I'm
point,
like-
you're like, well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm Marvel.
Did that,
I am
you
Marvel.
know?
I am Marvel.
It was crazy. So now, you know, the show, we filmed that in 2022. And now it's 2025, and it's finally coming out. So many shifts in the Marvel world, which pushed things back a little bit. So it's crazy that it's actually gonna like air.
It's so exciting.
Okay, so let's get into, you are on the show XO Kitty
I am.
on Netflix, and you play a character, Juliana,
I do.
who is a lesbian.
She is.
So do you find it easy? Yeah, shout out, by the
Yeah.
way. Shout out
Shout
to
out.
that. Do you find it easier to play lesbian characters versus straight ones?
I think as soon as I publicly came out, there was no desire for me to play straight characters.
Zero.
Like, for the art of it, like, there's some really good stories where sometimes I'm, like, really drawn to it, where I'm like, okay, like, whatever. But then I think about the setting I'm in, and I'm like, acting is acting, but still, like, I think my body has a reaction now, where it's like,
Okay.
I did a chemistry read with a guy, right? And it was for like some TV show. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, I know I can get this. And as soon as they were like, okay, the moment's getting hot and steamy, they're coming near each other and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh God. I was like, I don't want to be put back into this situation. So it's like, I think playing a lesbian is always easier because I think it's more natural and it's more like, well, I know how to act in these situations versus now, like, I'm like, I feel so far removed from that world where I'm like, eh. And I'm always like, why can't this story be told gay? Like, why can't we make this
Yeah.
character gay? Like, if I'm playing it, make the character gay. I was in a post-apocalyptic movie and I'm like, she's gay. And they were like, well, she doesn't have any lovers. I'm like, I know. She's gay though. Like, that's just what it is, you
Sure.
know? So yeah, playing a lesbian is like so much easier, so much more fun and fulfilling.
But
Yeah,
would
makes
you
sense.
turn down a role if it was a straight role?
I wouldn't turn it down. Well, I have turned things down if it's not worth it. You know, like you give me an episode of NCIS and I'm like making out with a guy in the corner. I'd be like, okay,
Right.
like I don't have to do that. Like
Not like reoccurring or something.
yeah, like
totally.
I'm like when it's like worth it, like it's a big film or it's a like a TV show that's like a really good TV show, then I'm like, yeah. But otherwise I'm like, I kind of look for roles that don't have anything like
Yeah.
revolving that. I'm like, I really like action and sci-fi and stuff like that. So I'm like, those are more of my interests anyway. But I have turned it down. And on the flip side, I'm like, I won't turn certain things down if I feel like they're like good stories that should be told.
Like
It
by
needs to
like the
fit.
best directors that
Yeah,
you've always wanted to work with.
Yeah.
I would probably turn straight, like if like a Martin Scorsese called me
Right.
and was
Yeah.
like, "Hey,
Well,
you know
yes.
what? Like,
Well,
you're
yes.
the one."
You're
I'd
the
be like, "Dude, I'll f him." Like, like whatever it takes.
I'm going on.
I'm going in. Like whatever research you need me to do. For sure. Like I'm going in. I'm going to do man research.
Listen.
I will do a lot to get the things that I want. That's just me personally.
I understand. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Yeah. But those are my lines. Does it have to be other people?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you have a favorite straight character that you would love to turn gay?
I don't know. I feel like the characters I loved in my head, they were already gay, or they didn't have like anything, like any type of like, we didn't know.
I would say
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Like if it was a lesbian couple. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
Like that could be really cool.
That would be really
Yeah,
good.
that would be hot.
Yeah, because it's like women spies and like, I don't know, she's such a badass in that.
I would love for it to be somebody that looks like a young Angelina Jolie.
Yes, like something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a remake, but
Yeah, because it's like
lesbian.
because they're spies and like crazy, and it's like so like tumultuous and romantic and da, da, da. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just picture like the lesbian version.
That's a good one. Honestly, it would be anything like Angelina was playing. And
Yeah.
that's like where it's like, you could have been gay in all of these, and that would have made me happy.
There
I
were a
can't
lot
think-
of gay undertones in a lot of things that
Of
she's
course.
done, but known bisexual in
Right?
the community.
So it's
Yeah.
like, in my head, I'm like, that. I feel like I just view every character that I like as gay because I'm like, I'm drawn to you for a reason. So you're gay in my head.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like I actually always thought that like the Disney movie Frozen, they weren't really sisters. They were just gay lovers.
Lovers.
Okay.
Yeah, Anna and Elsa. I've always thought that and people thought I was crazy. But that's just exists in my
I'm like
mind.
trying
Right.
to remember the whole.
It's two sisters.
It's
I don't
two
really
siblings.
remember, but
It's two
it's two
siblings.
siblings.
Okay.
It's a sister couple, but I don't
Oh, it's a
consider
sister
them.
couple.
Yeah. It's very White
No.
Lotus.
Yeah,
Very
no,
White
but
Lotus.
I don't think they're actually sisters. I just think that they're gay lovers,
Okay.
and I think that would be a great animated remake.
I
I
think
feel
it's the
like-
sisters thing is throwing me off.
Yeah.
That's it's hard to get past.
I feel like Frozen is the same as Wicked in my head. I'm like, I feel like those storylines are the same. And in that, I can view
Oh.
it because I see in Wicked,
Yeah.
they're gay. There's nothing about Wicked that's not gay.
Well, I don't know if you saw the press tour.
Well, that's
but
gay as well.
It was
Everything about it is
the,
gay.
the press tour was really gay.
Right.
Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo's little press tour that they did. It was super homo vibe.
And I love that.
I loved it
I loved
too,
the
but I
movie.
almost like wanted them to.
You're like, pop out. Just be a couple.
I wanted that. To
I like
be-
didn't see any of the press stuff.
Oh, they were like touch, but it's kind of like
I think I saw on TikTok. Like
the thing
little
is
snippets.
also is like Ariana's a Cancer and I'm a Cancer, so I'm like, I get that when you do something so emotional, it's just like every second you're just like, I'm like, I can be that person. So I'm like, oh, but the characters are for sure gay. There's no doubt about that.
so. Since you're so emotional and like Cancer vibe, when you're filming something, do you ever like get lost in the sauce and like fall in love with a co-star?
No,
Okay,
That
because
too.
I would.
Me too.
I would.
But I'm
I
also
would.
mentally
Oh,
ill.
yeah.
I feel like I would take on the character and be like, "This is me."
We are in love.
Yeah,
And we have to be forever. It would be for the moment.
and then it would
yeah.
take over.
It would take my
Yeah.
soul over.
I feel like it's so different though. Like it's like you're doing something with a million like cameras and a million people there
We don't
where it's
understand.
like
No, we have no idea. we
No,
have
like,
no
It's
idea.
a million cameras. It's a million things where it's just like you'll have an intimate scene or something like that, and it's like I just don't see it as that. I'm like, as soon as they yell cut, I'm like, oh, so anyway, like I go back into like who
It's
I
like
am.
really job. Yeah, I'm too mentally ill to do it. I would take on. I watch a movie. I watch a movie and I'm like, that's me. Like sometimes that happens. I'm ashamed to admit.
No, you become
Sometimes
the
I'm
character.
like, that's me. Like I'm gonna do that now for a week. Like that's who I am.
I feel like that's easier to do watching it though than to play it.
I think in my mind, I'm like, if I played it, I wouldn't know how to get out of it. Like,
Yeah,
I would just-
yeah. And I hear that happens with like that would be me for
But
sure.
yeah, you and I though. I don't
I would
know.
be like, we're in love now. Like I'd be crazy. I
too.
couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I would just assume the role.
You're saying that's never happened to you, but you know the people this has happened to.
Absolutely.
Has any of the co-stars like okay, how do I say this? One of the co-stars is like becomes obsessed with the other one, right?
Uh-huh.
But then like the energy's not matched. Like let's say I was obsessed with you and
I
it's
love
like
this
not
idea.
matching.
Yeah.
And you now still have to deal with me because like we have to film the rest of the movie.
Yeah. And so
And, like,
you
now what?
watching, like what happens when you're
You're the
watching
friend.
this? Yeah.
Oh God, this has happened a million times.
Really?
it happens a million times, and somehow I feel like I'm in the center of it, where I'm like, on both sides
Oh,
hearing
no.
like what's going on, and one person's like, I literally can't stand this person, like get them away from me. And the
Yeah.
other person's like, I think we're in love.
Yeah, we're
what
meant
should
to
I
be.
do? And I'm like,
No.
like
You're
I think we
not.
should just keep it professional. Like it's really, sets are messy. Like they're really messy. They're
It's
very
like
wanna
messy.
go.
it's like Queer Nation,
yeah,
but like a little mini version of it.
I want to go.
I do too.
messy.
So have you had it where they like actually did get together, but then by the press tour, it's all in shambles because like
Yes.
summer camp is over and like
They actually start to talk.
and then they hate each other
Yeah.
at that point, and you can see it in the photos.
I've never. And you're like, I can't stand you. I don't think in any of the shows I've been on, they've like hated each other or anything like that. EXO specifically is very peaceful. Like, it's,
Love that.
Yeah, but other things that I've done, yeah, people have, yeah.
It happens,
It
right? I
happens.
see it
Yeah.
because I'm like, oh, they've
Well,
Yeah.
can I
They
say
fucked.
this? We can take it out if it's not allowed. But the Sydney Sweeney thing and that man, they were co-stars, and she's like, "We're not anything. We're
And then
not
they always
anything."
pop out.
And now she was spotted in Texas with his family, and she left her fiance. Which, like, go off, girl. Do your
what's
thing.
the other one? The one that's Kylie Jenner. The little one. He's like skinny. Everyone wants to. Chalamet.
Yes.
Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Not Chalamet. Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Yeah. I feel like on the Dune, it seems like, and this is where I like extracted this from, because it seemed like he f***ed the co-star, and then on the press tour, it was like, he was like, she's weird. Like, it was like, but that's just a theory, allegedly. I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no clue.
Yeah. But
But
like,
it does
that's-
happen.
Yeah.
It does happen a
And
lot.
then you have to be like, no, everything's gonna be fine.
Oh my God,
Like-
I love press tours where people hate each other, or I love
What do you
interviews
do?
where people hate each
Do
other
you just
because
sit there?
oh, you just can tell. There's been one thing where I had to interview with somebody that I didn't like, and I'm very like, it's
You let 'em
it's
know.
not
You
hard
let 'em
to
know.
make me not like you, but it's like you can tell. And I just remember certain questions would be asked, and it's like there was little things where I look back and I'm like, if people knew, they would know that that was direct shade to the person next to me.
Yeah,
not
love
EXO,
that.
not EXO at all. But it was like. It was like little questions where I'd be like, oh, actually, that happened when this person did this. And it would be like, really like that person knew that it was like directly to
Yeah.
them. We made up after time where we're cool. But like during the time of like the filming stuff, I was like, oh, no. We're not
And they
friends.
play it off. They're like, oh yeah. Like,
yeah,
so
they
it's
were
just
laughing. Like, so funny. And I was like,
It's not.
no.
And then so once the like interview wraps, right? Like, do you guys like leave the room and like the person's
just
like, you bitch, like,
Or do you just
leave on your
Honestly,
separate ways?
on my end, no, because I've never disliked somebody on a set without it being for a very, very specific reason that I was right. And so
they had
it's
like a
usually
diva meltdown or something?
yeah, and so
or
it's
they tried to
usually
f-
like
your mate.
Yeah.
well, you know, that would be a
Something.
lot. That would be a different story. But yeah, that's completely different. So I feel like afterwards it's always like them trying to like apologize and be like, so like this is not what happened. And I'm like, oh yeah. I'm also talking about something that happened when I was like 19.
Right.
And I'm a Scorpio Mars, so I like still hold on to it. Revenge.
I hold on to a lot.
Vengeful.
I do.
I
Like
love
I will
revenge.
never forget it.
We're the same.
No, we are the
We're
same.
the same.
We have a hit list
Yeah.
of individuals that,
Right.
and we'll just say, I don't think we've ever said this publicly, but
just
we'll
say
go
it.
ahead and say it. Yeah, we have a hit list of people that
have
we
wronged us.
extremely. We're talking some real bad people out there, and we will never forget.
Right.
And they will never be allowed in the green room. They
No.
will never come to it. Like, we will make sure that they are like removed from spaces that we are in.
Yeah.
I feel that. Actually, number one on my hit list right now is my Uber driver. So my Uber driver passed by a sign and it was dogs, right? And it was like rainbow and it was such a cute little dog place. And he was like, what is that, gay dogs? And I was like, I turned and I was like, I don't like how the way you said gay dogs. Like, I felt like the gay was really like, And he was like, oh, I can say that because my dog is gay. Okay, like, okay, straight cis man, like, whatever. And he was talking about how he was straight later on, so that's how I knew too.
That
And
is
so
so
he goes
weird.
on this
It's weird.
full rant about like gay dogs and like high key saying slurs in there, and I'm sitting there like, oh, texting like, I need to get out this Uber.
Yeah.
This is weird. Then he's like, okay, I want to try out some I'm not even lying. Like, I have this all on text message. He was
I'm
like,
sorry, was this on the way here?
earlier today.
Wow.
Yes.
I think she's about to say that he wanted to try up comedy.
He tried
us.
a comedy bit. And I'm sitting there literally like, what is going on? Like, this is so strange. He does a whole like stand-up thing. And I was in the car for an hour. An hour with this man. He does a stand-up bit. Nothing's funny. He's like, oh, I got to try it out because I have a gig tomorrow night. And I was like, your gig is going to go terribly. Like, you're not
nightmare.
funny. And it was just the weirdest thing. He's on my hit list just because you made my ride uncomfortable. You made me uncomfortable. Then he was asking me about like, oh, well, what type of guys do you like? You know, you're too pretty to be in this Uber alone. How come you don't have a guy picking you up?
That's not cool.
Do you have his name?
I do.
We can report him.
We'll talk
do.
after.
And by the way, everybody knows that dogs are not gay. They're bisexual.
That's valid.
Every dog is bisexual. This is the animal kingdom. They don't care.
I'm trying to remember if your hat says that your dog is gay or bisexual.
No, it says my dog is bisexual.
Okay.
And that's actually true. But with a little bit of incest because he goes for his brother. But that's an
That's
aside, yeah.
Oh.
But it just, they
that,
don't
yeah.
know any better.
No, that's okay.
They don't know any better.
Maybe they get it from like the stories of Frozen.
I was going to say
them
Elsa.
being- Like, I feel like maybe they're picking
It's
up on
not my
things.
kink, but it's not my
You could
kink.
have fooled me.
But it is my dogs.
Okay.
It's my dogs.
Okay, dogs bisexual. I think cats are lesbians.
You think cats are lesbians?
Absolutely.
Why is it that every lesbian has a cat?
Because they should.
You like cats.
I have 3.
Listen, I'm pro animal always.
You spanked the cat.
You
spanked my
told
cat.
me to.
Yeah, my cat
You
likes
told
it.
me
So
to.
first of all, you can't just
Oh, wait,
say
are you
that.
doing like the back?
You
of
can't
the cat?
just
Like,
make
like,
it.
You cannot just come out with that.
I know, it
that
sounds
was wild.
Animal cruelty?
No.
What is
no,
it, PETA?
that was Tallulah, that
I know,
was crazy.
I'm so
How you just introed that.
I'm so sorry.
Rewind.
I'm really
Tallulah,
sorry.
that was
I know.
weird.
It sounded
Okay.
like I was setting you up.
You were setting me up. That was like straight to jail. No. So I went to Tallulah's house and sat on her new couch that I thought was very nice and luxurious.
Thank you,
and then
thank
the
you.
cat came up on the couch and I just let her like sniff me because, you know, just to
Dog person.
approach.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm not sure, but I was like, okay, smell my scent. Don't be mean to me.
I said no. She wants Spanx,
No,
and you said,
And I
I'm
said,
sorry.
what? I don't know what you're talking. And you go, hit her ass.
Yes.
And I was like,
Yeah, you were uncomfortable.
and then you told me harder.
Yes.
And so then I went harder, and then she lifted her booty in the air.
and backed
then
up onto her.
yeah,
Yes,
and then I
exactly.
went bang, 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 bang.
And then
Does
like
it make her crazy?
no, she loves it. She just like scoots back into you. And Tippy was just like,
Well, because no, I was fearful because you said if I don't do it, then she's gonna be mean to me.
yeah, she'll bite.
Okay.
Like if you stop doing something
So
she
you
likes,
can't-
she
she's
turns
like-
around and like does like a soft
she's one
nibble.
of
So you can't
Yeah.
preface like you like
I said it wrong.
yeah.
I mean,
People
you
are
know
about
what
to
I
be
meant.
on you in the comments.
Yeah. So what do you do though when you're trying to like fuse households and you have 3 cats?
These 3 cats aren't mine. These 3 cats fused with me. So
Oh
they
my god.
Yeah, my girlfriend came with 3 cats. I really love them already because I love any cat, and even if the cat's mean to me, like the cat could claw at my arm and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that was my bad. Like I
get
did
it.
something wrong. But they're just so cute. One is like this really big orange cat. She's rare because she's a girl and most orange cats
Yes.
are boys. And then there's like a big black long-haired cat. His name is Handsome Boy. And then there's Riley, who I call Shayla because I kept going, my Shayla. And now her name's Shayla.
And you live with these 3 cats.
Yeah.
Okay, so question, and I only take this from personal experience because I dated a
no.
girl who was deeply unhinged and she had 3 cats and she just kept getting cats the deeper in her unhingedness that she got. And I always associated 3 cats.
With
Like I was like,
crazy.
okay,
New
1
York?
cat. What?
New York?
No, here.
I know. Okay.
The one that's
Real screw
The
loose.
wild one.
the screw loose.
Several
There,
screws.
yeah, there's but
Doesn't
this
matter.
one, yeah. Anyway, so and she kept getting animals.
Oh, I know.
And she couldn't take care of any of them.
Oh,
Horrible.
Yeah.
that's not good. Number 1 on the hit list.
Yeah, I don't like
she is
bullies or
actually
animals.
She's
number
on there.
1 on the hit list.
on there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She's done a lot. a known lesbian criminal for sure.
Yeah.
Although she's bisexual criminal.
gonna
I
say,
should say,
okay.
yeah, she's a bisexual criminal that dips toes into lesbian nation.
Period.
Yeah. Well, anyways. So yeah, so your girlfriend I went back to the horror.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It was like a
I was like,
flash.
it was like I went back to the. Well, you know, it's like once they've dropped bombs on it's like you go back into like the trauma. But anyways, yeah, back to reality.
She had 3 cats.
So 3 were there before, and so I've always associated 3 cats with like, oh,
It's too far.
Yeah.
it's too far.
It is too far. Like it genuinely is.
It
Like,
just shows the sign of being unwell, and so that's why I ask you the next
Oh, no.
like question is like.
yeah, when I saw she had 3, I was like, okay. I was like, I've always stopped at 2. Like
Yeah.
that was enough.
2 is a
like,
lot.
because that's a lot. And so for her, it's that she had 1 cat, and then her and her sister rescued 2 small like kittens.
Yeah.
And so then her sister moved to Florida and was like,
I can't do this.
right. And so she was like, well, they grew up together. Like, then she just took them because she was like, I can't.
She's a good person.
yeah.
That's why she
so
has
that's
3.
why.
It's
But
a single dad lesbian in the community.
That's
Yeah.
that's what she was. No, genuinely, that's what she was. And now I'm like, I've never had a kitten. I've always had like cats from the street that were like grown. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, just come in my house. Like, you're mine now. And so I'm like, I really want a kitten. And she was like, we gotta wait till one of them before we do that.
Yeah,
like,
because
this
3's a
is
lot.
4. I would.
I would do it if I had the space.
No, you would
I
have an
can't-
entire farm, but that's also a thing,
It's
right?
an unhinged
Yeah.
thing.
No,
Yes.
but no, because okay, so this is a true test of showing like an unhinged lesbian. Is like how many cats do they have?
Okay.
How big is their space? Because if you have a small space,
Yeah.
but a lot of animals, it is a sign usually, and I'm not saying always, but usually of unwell.
It also
If-
stinks in there.
Yeah.
That's the
Even if they think it doesn't, it does.
it does.
They're
It
willing to
does.
ignore it though.
And then
think
you're
that's the
mating and you have the waft of a cat piss smell in and you know smell is very important to me.
Oh, you would die.
I'm very scent sensitive.
Okay.
So when I was mating with the unhinged that had 3 cats,
You really must have compromised.
the mating was fire.
Okay. So that's why you were there. That's why you
No,
stayed.
that is why I was
like,
there.
Okay,
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
valid. Do you have crazy like date experiences? Like,
It's never date.
okay. Well,
You have funny things like diarrhea.
Oh, safe space?
Yeah. Like that was funny.
That wasn't a date though. I just told
That's a date.
That wasn't a date. I'll tell you what happened. Okay, so I was in a self-imposed dry spell
okay.
because I had mated with an unhinged woman that had put me into the depths of like, I don't want to interact in any kind of sexual manner with a woman. I just want to kind of take a break. So I think I was like a year deep in this, whatever. My friends were like, listen, because I'm a very sexual person. And they were like, we're really concerned about you.
You've taken it too far.
You've taken it too far. Like, what has happened to you?
This
There
is not the you we know.
This is not
Yeah.
the you we know. We have this nice bisexual over here that we have met. She is pretty with a fat ass,
Uh-huh.
which is what I like.
yeah, ideal.
Yeah. And so they were like, why don't you meet her? So then one night I met her and we were at the lesbian or queer line dancing. And then everybody was like, yeah, let's go back to your jacuzzi. And I was like, great. And so we were all in the vehicle to my jacuzzi. I believe she had taken mushrooms that evening.
Yeah.
And we were in motion to my house and she just like braces herself and she's like, you guys are going to have to take me home. I have to go home. And I looked at her and I had no idea she was on mushrooms. And I looked at her and I go, diarrhea?
So typical.
I
Yeah,
didn't
like
know
what
that was
else would it be?
inappropriate. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so, but because I'm just like, let's talk. And she was like, I don't want to talk about this, Tippy. And I said,
You got her.
I got her. So I was like, so it is. I go, don't worry. My house is a diarrhea safe space.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, it is.
I would be in an Uber back home immediately.
I thought it was comforting, but apparently, anyway. So
A lot of people don't like to talk about shitting.
I thought it was comfort.
It is
I would
comforting.
like it.
I was like,
It
hey,
is
no
very
problem.
comforting. But also you saying that and also like 5 minutes ago saying you're smell sensitive, it's like that would be like
I'm not going into the room to smell your
No.
diarrhea.
No, you know what I think is
No.
interesting? As somebody, this is a good point you bring up because we talk about this a lot. This is actually interesting.
It is interesting, actually.
Somebody who
I'm making the
is
connection.
so smell sensitive,
Yeah.
you're not weird about farts. You're not weird
No.
about shitting. It's literally pheromones. Like, I think it's less about.
I have an issue with it has to be the right pheromones.
Yeah.
That's valid.
It's like, that's what it is. Wow, you are really. She's like,
I'm
figuring
just like,
it out.
uncovering. She's uncovering
Like
deep
the
roots
of
here.
my lying. Like, what actually.
The roots of my sense.
Yes.
Like, let's get into it. Let's
How
get into it all.
crazy. Yeah, because no one has ever brought that up, and she's right.
Interesting.
Yeah, because that's natural. I know. I guess pheromones are natural, but it's because I'm such an animal and I'm such a hound. I really am
I'm
almost
laughing,
like
but
a
yeah.
werewolf. Like it, and it's like in order to want to like properly imprint you, it has to be the right scent.
Okay.
But that doesn't include like your excretions.
Yeah, because like you are pro, like be comfortable.
Totally.
How interesting.
Are you that way with throw up?
Throwup's fine.
You don't even care.
I once held a bag for.
You've done more than hold a bag. You've held hair.
Oh yeah. That's fine.
So it's literally just pheromones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just pheromones.
Wow, you've cracked the code. This is so good. This is good to know.
Anyways, so she ended up going home. Just to cap that story, she never came to the jacuzzi.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Diarrhea safe
I
space.
feel like that.
Shout out.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I would have gone.
I
home.
understood.
Also, like diarrhea, and then like being like, no, come hang out with us in the jacuzzi. It's like
Yes,
no,
diarrhea
No,
jacuzzi.
if I thought about it, really, because when I thought about it afterwards, I was like, well, I don't want you to come
I'm
into my
glad you left,
jacuzzi
yeah.
with
Yeah.
my diarrhea.
That makes me think of like the signs at pools,
Yes, the
and
kids
it's
that
just
say
like
the pool.
and
Yeah.
it's like if you had diarrhea, you can't go in the pool for like 5 days or something like
Yeah.
that. I'm always like, I feel like people are doing that anyway.
For
and-
sure.
I'm sure.
I think about it often. I'm like, did my friends get into my jacuzzi with diarrhea? But
Absolutely.
I wonder.
I
don't
wonder.
know.
I feel like they have. And honestly, shame on you. Like, don't like wash up before you get in there. That's shameful.
If you had actually had the magician over that one time, he for sure would have had diarrhea, but he would have had swamp ass.
He wanted to go in my pool. I feel like there's more chlorine in a pool.
The magician.
So
magician.
yeah, there's a magician friend of mine that really wanted a skinny dip in my pool.
Got
And
you.
I had a girlfriend at the time and she was not cool with that. She was like, how dare you want to bring over this magician and skinny dip in my pool? And I was like, he's fine. I've known him since I was a kid. We're like family friends. Like it's like fine.
It's like no.
And she's like, how dare you? I was like, it's a man. Like, do you think I'm gonna like mate with him in my pool? We're gonna have this romantic evening
With the
like
magician.
together? That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna do some magic tricks for me. We're gonna play some like,
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
quirky. They're kinda
reggaeton
weird.
and like
Call
have
it a
like
day.
your barbecue or something. And then he's gonna shit in my pool. No.
That's like for the plot. I'm like, why not?
I
Like,
think it
invite
sounds
the
so
magician
funny.
over. Like,
Listen, I'm still waiting. You know who you are. Like, I'd love to have you in my pool still to this day. We're not together anymore, so it's safe. The waters are safe. Like in
you're invited.
totally
This time.
free
You're welcome.
willy. Free willy.
Valid.
I don't think that's like a sexy moment for a man to go into a pool
No.
and like where he's like, you know, hey, look at this. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Are there sexy moments for men in general?
I don't know about
think
like
I
free
really-
willying in a pool.
where it's probably like a little chilly. You know what? That's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't think that they're at their like most confident, which is great because you got him disarmed.
Yeah,
You know,
I like that.
and so it's like, yeah, come in my pool, skinny dip, shrink up,
Yeah, and you're a magician.
shrink up, do some magic tricks, and we can have fun.
It's so weird.
I thought that was interesting. I never actually understood when girlfriends of mine get jealous if I'm engaging with a man. I'm like, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Have you had that happen to you?
I've had a lot of people. My girlfriend now doesn't really care. I think she's more cautious about men. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the men that are around me have like this, not like friends, but like in spaces, don't care that I'm gay like at all. So it's like
Oh,
even like we're
really?
like at a bar or something like that, and like one time my girlfriend had her hand around me and the guy was trying to talk to me and put his hand on top of her hand like she wasn't there. Like very weird. So I think now it's more of like a not fully jealous, but a like a ooh, don't get too close to that person because they might be a little.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
free.
that's
Crazy.
different. That's
But
different.
like actually like jealous about me like
Like with a
hanging
man
out with
friend.
Like no, it's like for what? Like Why?
It's never going to happen.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
Like there's a 0% chance that I'm going to say, hey, you know what? Tonight, me and this man friend of mine are going to gonna get down.
Just
It's
laughing.
never gonna happen. Yeah, no, it's comical because I was like, these are my
me.
man friends, like, and I have select few,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow, if
Yeah,
anything,
no.
like you're not jealous of like me going out with this super hot lesbian, but you are jealous of me going out with this man.
Man
I
friends.
wonder
Man
why.
friend?
That is
Yeah.
weird.
It is, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
we
'cause
could
it's
never
you, it's
be.
weird.
Yeah, because it's me.
I'm like, what?
It's crazy.
So weird.
It's the weirdest.
Yeah.
Maybe I could see if I was like mask for mask, which I'm not mask for mask. By the way, if that's your thing, please, I love it.
Shout out Mask for Mask. Love
Shout
that
out
for
mask
you.
for mask.
Yeah, it's just not your thing.
No, it's not. And so it's really odd to me. Like, I'm never like, yeah, let me man friend it up.
I feel like all my male friends are gay. And so therefore there is like I would understand like somebody being more jealous of how I am with my gay male friends than I am like a straight man, because to me I'm like I feel more affectionate towards them than I would a straight man. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess if somebody was a little bit jealous of like, okay, calm that down with them, like, because we'll have like full on me and like some people that I've worked with too, like people be like, oh my God, actually, I'm not ever complimenting a guy that's on a TV show with me because my comments have been spammed. I called one of my castmates charming. And people are like, am I delusional or do you have a crush on him? Did you guys
Oh my
date on
God.
set? And I'm like, I can't say anything nice about a man, like ever. Like it's crazy. But some of them I'm like more like tied to and affectionate towards where I'm like, I would understand somebody being like, okay, chill. You don't need to be that.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm like, it's a gay man.
It's a
I'm
gay
lesbian.
man.
Nothing
we're
is
on,
happening.
We're on opposite spectrums. Like,
yeah, like that's, I mean, all my gay man friends, they shudder at the thought of a V card. Like, they're like, no
No,
thank
thanks.
you.
no thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if
Yeah.
anything, they would just want me to like plow them.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be the threat.
I think of our man friends and I don't see you ever interested.
No.
I just don't.
No.
Like, I'm picturing like our man friends and whoever you were dating getting upset about that, and it's laughable.
I've gone to like you know like how there's like Futch out and about and all
Yeah.
of those things. I've gone to a couple of those, and I realized this too when I was just like dating around and stuff. People don't know really where to place me on the scale of like what am I, feminine, masculine, this, blah blah blah. I'm like I'm wearing a full face of makeup and my hair's like huge. I'm like I feel like I'm giving off this specific vibe, but I think
Which
that
is what?
a feminine, but not where I wear like the tightest of dresses and this and this, and I think it's just because like. One, I grew up being a rapper and it's like a male dominated space. So I grew
Totally.
up being like a little bit disconnected to femininity. So it was like being a little bit more masculine and like certain things that I wore and stuff like that. I was like, I can still wear it in a feminine way. So I'm like, I feel like that's what I'm giving off. But then it's like a whole thing.
I don't even know
But-
if it's your namesake, but very like Aliyah vibes.
Period.
Yeah.
So like
I love that.
very Aliyah vibes, which she's wearing, you know, the like sports bra with the like
Right.
baggy pants and like
Right.
it's very much that vibe. But when I see Aliyah, I'm like, that is a feminine woman.
Yeah.
Even there was one time I went on a date. I was in like a hoodie and like some jeans, like kind of like how I'm dressed now. And like I was driving and certain things like this. And I remember having like, we had this conversation and like the way that I laughed and the way I was like interacting with her, she kind of made a face and I was like, what? And then she was like, I don't know, that was just so girly of you. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, what am I? Like, I'm confused. And it like shifted where I'm like, oh, you only want me to be like this type of person. And I'm like, I love androgyny. I love playing with like silhouettes and shapes of this. But it was like, I could see that I'm like, you didn't like the other side of this, you know? You didn't like that, like, if one day I was dressed where I'm like, okay, I'm showing my boobs. Okay, I'm wearing this and blah, blah, blah. She was not going to be down for that. And I'm like, it's so weird because I feel like I never gave off masculine in
Yeah.
the first place. So it was like for you to place me in that box where it made you uncomfortable that I wasn't. I was like, that's so strange.
Yeah.
But now that I'm noticing at like some of the out and about and like Futch events is that all types of people come up to me in different ways just based on like if I'm wearing like pants that day or if
Oh,
I'm this.
wow.
And it's like feminine girls will come up to me, shoot their shot, And then I'll be like, oh, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's my girlfriend right there. And they look at my girlfriend in a way of like, huh? Because she's masculine. And I'm like, oh, because you didn't expect me to be with somebody masculine. So now they're looking at it like it's mask for mask. But I'm like, I never gave mask. Like, I didn't.
But that's
So
the
it's
thing.
weird.
It's tricky. So I feel like, and this is just per my eye, is nowadays it is so tricky to spot a mask because it's just getting more and more like soft.
Yeah.
And so because there are this soft mask where it's like essentially to me just by my eye a very kind of feminine looking girl with like makeup and whatever, and then they'll wear, you know, men's clothing and they will identify as a mask.
Yeah.
So you have to ask somebody now because you can't even identify it by eye because it's so confusing just visually.
Yeah.
You
don't know.
That you don't know.
If anything, to me, I'm like, androgyny feels safe. Like, I just feel nice there. But I'm like, I know that I'm more feminine.
That's what I got.
Yeah. I'm
But
like,
I'm never
once
right.
Again,
I don't
I'm
know.
literally like, there's not a world, like, I may go on a red carpet and it's like, I have a suit jacket on, but I also have a suit jacket on and my boobs are taped up where I'm like, hello, everyone. Like, I'm like, that's what I'm trying to give. Is
Oh
this,
my
like,
God, it's so sexy. Like the dip on the breast
That's
that
what
you
you're-
do.
like,
It's so
Yes.
power. It's so feminine to me. I don't
Very
know, but it's
feminine, I
it's
think.
boss.
Yeah, I just, you know, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting
I'm so
thing.
shocked by that.
Yeah. it's
Because
been-
never once was I like, oh wow, that's a mask. But to be clear, sometimes I'm wrong.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I am.
Because I will see somebody and I'm like, oh, that's a femme. And they will come and they will be like, I am masked. And I'm like,
You're
oh,
like, right.
I'm usually wrong.
It's like sick, dress however you want to dress, identify
Totally.
however you want to. I'm like all cool with it. But it does like sometimes like mess up my perception of myself because I'm like, okay, then what am I giving? You know, so what am I giving off that makes people think that I'm one way that I don't necessarily see myself? I had somebody even like tag me and my girlfriend in something, but it was like celebrity couples or like couples in general that you can't imagine like actually having sex and all blah blah blah. And they
Really?
tagged me and my girlfriend. They were like, because Regan's so masked, so why is she with with a masculine woman? I was like, what? What are we talking about? And also like just because you can't imagine two masculine people being together, that happens as well. So I was
Oh,
like,
for
in
sure.
all dynamics, I was like, why would I engage in this? Why
Yeah,
would
like,
I
you're
post
wrong
and
no matter
why?
what.
Why did you tag me? It was so
Did you write them?
strange. No, I just was like, whatever.
I think it's
Like,
better that you did it because then it's like, I didn't even see
Listen,
you. You're a freak.
puta.
You're a freak.
Yeah, listen, puta. You cannot be commenting on my identity.
No, the only thing that's like, I don't know. Sometimes people will be like, "Can your girlfriend fight?" And I'm like, "Well, yes, actually."
Because your girlfriend is an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Pro level.
Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pro level.
If I was dating an MMA fighter, and this is just how my wild brain works, I'd probably be like, tonight, I oil you up and we do a photo shoot of you in your like MMA garb, like where your muscles are shining, and like I will treasure it forever.
I
Like
literally,
in my personal wallet.
I went so far else.
Oh, did you?
Like
You weren't expecting it?
No,
Like, okay.
I was
Well, I know
expecting.
my mind is
No,
weird.
it sends me.
Where did you go?
I literally went to like, I would talk so much shit if that was my wife. Like, I would talk, girlfriend, whatever. I would talk so much.
What would you say?
Oh my God, to anybody who's disrespecting me.
Like my girlfriend's
like-
gonna fuck you
yeah,
up.
like, you, do you know? Like, this is my girlfriend. You.
Yeah.
I would just say it's like whoever, like you. I
You
don't
just
know.
live on the edge.
I
You're
really
like,
would. I would say everything I ever wanted, probably.
Test me, my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She'll take you down.
Like that list of people.
Really? You would have
Yeah,
your
I would
girlfriend
just,
call.
like,
You,
yes.
go.
I would, because nobody's going to actually try. Are you kidding?
Do you ever use it as a tool? Like, oh, I'm going to call my girlfriend and she's going to beat you.
That's what I would say all the time.
No, I think it's because I'm also a little deranged. So my brain is just like, I don't need to learn how to actually like fight in the way she does. I can handle this by myself.
I also understand
But
that.
she's also like, then she gets on edge because she's like, but if something goes down, I have to
do it.
fight.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But honestly, it's not mostly me. It's like my mom. Like I've seen my girlfriend have to go stand up next to my mom because my mom is like getting into it with she's fighting everywhere, like yelling at somebody at Disneyland, yelling at somebody at a restaurant. Something's always happening. I was banned from a 7-Eleven as a kid because of her.
no.
Like we were banned from a lot of places because my mom would get into it. So like, one of the first few times she came out here because my girlfriend's from Jersey.
Shout out.
Love
New
Jersey.
Jersey.
Love Jersey down. Honestly, for some reason, a lot of people that I've like been attracted to in my life, I'm like, where are you from? Jersey. I'm like,
It's Jersey.
There's something about the East Coast, and I lived in New York for 12 years, and it's different out
Something
there.
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Like, you're not afraid.
I think it's something about the aura. I'm least attracted to people that feel like uncomfortable in a space with me. So I think a lot of East Coast people feel like they take up the space even if they're quiet, which I'm like, interesting. I like that. Like, who are you? It makes me want to like get to know you more. But like when people are like, I don't know, like, oh, I didn't know how to talk to you. Chop, next.
Yeah.
I don't, for what reason? Like, that bothers me. Or like being on dating apps or anything like that. And people are like, I just want to run away in a field and bake bread. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
It seems to me that the queers here in Los Angeles versus New York are just filled with more anxiety and tears.
I don't know.
Like, they cry more, they have a lot more anxiety and
touch.
like shy and just like, yeah.
Do you think it's because like LA, it's, you know how you were telling me you're like New York is like hustle, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like East Coast is hustle, hustle. Do you think there's too much time in LA so everybody like
That's
cries
the
and gets
problem.
depressed?
And I find this a lot. Well, I'm not even going to go into whatever, but it's just like people who have a lot of time to worry
Yeah.
and like fester in their own minds.
That's interesting. I like that.
I'm going to
That's
say
true.
for me,
I kinda
when
like
I'm
that.
not busy, that's when I'm the worst.
Yeah, it's your mental illness, like
What's going
literally.
on? I'm freaking out.
And I say this as somebody who's mentally, like myself, I'm mentally ill. And so if I have time to only sit with my own thoughts,
Yeah.
that is the killer of,
No, it's true.
sanity.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's a lot of,
Oh no.
I said,
I know,
I
I'm like-
used to say transients, but I don't think it's transient. It's just a lot of creatives out here. Well, because it's a lot of queers that are searching for something out here and like trying to find work and like out of a job. And so you've got nothing but time to dig yourself into a hole of anxiety and despair. And then you will find yourself just crying alone in the dark in a shower, holding yourself.
Sometimes not alone. Sometimes
You find
people cry.
company.
and-
Yeah, misery loves company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you both from LA?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Period.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah.
too. So I'm like,
so I can on it.
that's me.
But I left and I was like, oh,
You've
wow.
had the both worlds. I haven't. I've stayed here. I went to like Arizona.
Oh, it wasn't like that out
school.
there. It was like if people were miserable out there, it was like you were miserable, but you were still
Like you still have to work to live.
you
live,
were
to work,
hustling
da.
to like
Yeah.
make it happen out there.
yeah. I've lived in LA my whole life as well,
Yeah.
except for like dating my girlfriend. I would be in Jersey like on and off every
Yeah.
month.
A lot of mafia out there.
She grew up in like a full like a town that was like all old mob members and stuff like that, and she was just like,
no.
oh yeah, like they would talk to us, and she was like, this person probably
That's Charlie from the waste
He
management
killed like
system.
10,000 people.
If they're chill with you, it is chill.
The mafia?
Yes. So I used to rent an apartment
I
in
bet you
Little
did.
Italy from, a guy that we didn't really know what he did, but we knew what he did.
Right.
And like all I knew is that I had to deliver a rent check to like this
Oh.
downstairs weird office in this like Italian restaurant and whatever.
And you just do it.
And
Go
you
through the back
just do
door.
it. And I remember this so vividly is I like brought the check and I was like, oh yeah, this is for Mr. So-and-so. And this guy that looked like he had murdered 1 million people literally was like, you mean the boss? And I was like, that's exactly who I meant.
You're
like,
right.
I meant the boss.
Sorry.
Sorry. I am so sorry. Like I just called him the boss from then on. And then we
Right.
didn't have any problems.
period.
And that was it. And they always knew because there were roofs and we would suntan on the roof, but you weren't supposed to. And so it was me and my gay nation on the roof, like in
Why are you
Little
not allowed?
Italy.
What's the rule?
Because I think they had lookouts for all the and they didn't want us to see what they were doing.
I see.
Because they knew exactly when we were on the roof. And I would get a call every time.
Of
And they're
like,
like,
hey, get
it's
off.
like, you're not supposed to be on the roof. And it was like, how do you know this?
That I'm
Like,
on the roof every
yeah,
time.
Yeah. Like you guys have
It was
lookout.
weird.
It was weird. Yeah.
That is the
Stories
East
from New
Coast.
York. You guys wanted stories
they
from New
actually
York.
The East
Yeah.
Coast for you.
Wait, your friend that introduced you and your girlfriend?
Yeah.
How did they meet?
A friend kind of set it up, a different friend kind of set it up in a weird way. So what happened was I dated a man for 3 years, right? And I'm very blessed that I'm like one of the few lesbians that dated a man and the man wasn't like raw, like scary.
Yeah.
Like he was actually a good person. And that was the reason, like I didn't date in high school. I didn't date in middle school. I didn't date at all because
You were
it was
busy
like,
being a star.
no, really, like for real. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do this. Like I don't have time for this. Like I really had that mentality, but also I think that mentality kept me away from
trouble.
I didn't want to. Like I was confused there, you know, and you know I also grew up Catholic, so there's a lot.
Yeah.
But
Catholic girls are freaky though. Usually,
well, you know,
I have learned.
it's called being repressed and like going
Repressed.
through.
I know, but you can like channel that
You're
into like really cool things sometimes. Just a PSA.
PSA. Yeah, so I ended up breaking up with said boyfriend because I was gay. And I was like, hey, so I'm gay. And I had said that I was bisexual like halfway through the relationship because I had to rationalize it that way because I'm like, I'm in this relationship and I'm like not ready to leave. And so then it was like, hey, so no, I actually just like women, so this is not gonna work. Took it great. Super sweet guy.
I feel like that's the national lesbian throughway is like, oh, I'm going to say I'm bisexual because it's
feels
safer.
easier.
It's a softer touch.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, guys, I'm bisexual. And then you like really get inside of a muff and you have your first lick.
Yeah, that's what you say, first lick.
Yeah, your first lick of muff.
Right.
And you know, smell it like a dirty gym towel. And then you're like, I want to work out all the time. That's what happens.
Exactly.
And then you're like, I'm lesbian. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm
It's just
lesbian.
like coming out as bisexual first makes it feel like in my head I was like, but there's still a part of me that's normal. Like to my Catholic family, like no, this part is still normal. Like that could still happen. I could still get married in the traditional way and have these traditional grandkids that actually my family doesn't even want grandkids, but that's what it felt like normal.
They just want
you
the
know?
lineage to die.
You know, honestly, all of my family's like, oh, you know, we just don't want to watch any babies. Like we did that already, so it's like if it dies, it dies.
Yeah.
I broke up with said boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. My best friend was like, this is a lot still happening because emotionally I was like, I ruined this person's life. I wasted so many years of their life, blah, blah, blah. She was like, let's go to the East Coast. Let's remove you from everything here. You're going to go be with my big Italian family. They're going to cook for you. Life is going to be great. I was like, oh, period.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
and then you will lick muff.
She's literally the best person on the planet. And so I literally was there with her grandma. Her grandma was just like, her grandma and grandpa were just like, eat this. Here's some pasta. Here's blah, blah. Like I was eating 12 meals a day. It was life-changing.
You're just shitting out pasta.
Yeah, surviving.
It was good. So her dad had moved to like South Jersey. So we went to her dad's for a little bit. And we're like scrolling through dating apps.
Hinge, I'm assuming? Or no, it's Raya out there, isn't it?
Raya, oh my God, my story with Raya, I got off of there really quick after I met somebody crazy.
We have to hear from maybe Patreon.
Yeah, let's talk about the Raya story on Patreon.
Oh my God, she was crazy. Anyway, scrolling through dating apps.
Yeah.
I think it was Bumble. So I'm scrolling through it and I have another friend on FaceTime at my best friend's house or her dad's house. And I'm scrolling through and I see this girl and I was like, oh, that's cool because it showed like she was a fighter. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And so like I'm sharing my screen and my friend goes, oh my God, I know her. And I was like, oh, that's your friend. And her Instagram was on there and she was like, yeah, we go way back. Like,
How does she know her?
Right.
She knows her biblically.
Oh no.
Actually, no.
She knows her biblically.
This is different. This is way different.
This is some lesbian shit.
No.
So she's like, oh my God, I know her. No, like you guys would really get along. Like hit her up. So then I DM and I go, hey, you're really beautiful. She responds.
I bet anything works.
Yeah,
Regan.
I'm sure.
Like Regan's just like, hi.
Yeah, and they're like,
that's it. And they're like, kill me. I would love to have you.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh my God.
me?
Me?
Yeah.
I feel chosen.
I would.
Me too.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, like, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just don't know how to respond to that.
No,
I get
don't
it.
worry.
Yeah. Humble queen. We get it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just DM'd her something like, hi, you're beautiful. So she ends up responding in the morning and she was like, oh, hey, yada, yada. So we start talking in DM. And so I say multiple times, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm just in Jersey for a little bit, like 2 more days, like, you know. So then we start texting and she was like, oh, yeah, I'm going into the city for blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what city? And then she was like, "Oh, you're not from here." And I was like, "What do you mean? How'd you know?" And she was like, "Everyone over here knows the city is New York." Like,
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I'm just thinking like, you could be driving
Jersey City.
Yeah.
Jersey
any
City.
city, I was like, I
No
don't
one
know
drives
about
to Jersey
this.
City.
No one. And so then she was like talking to me about where I was from. And I was like, yeah, that's why I told you I was only here for 2 days. And she was like, right. She was like, well, I hope you enjoy your 2 days. I was like,
Oh,
Attitude.
yeah.
so then I go to my friend. I'm like, I just think it's so weird that I said I'm here for 2 days and she didn't ask to hang out with me immediately. Like, that's so strange. So I was like, whatever. Like, we're responding. And then she's like telling me like, oh, you're so funny when you type or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah. And you still haven't asked to hang out or, this is weird. So then now it's the day of me leaving. This is me going back home, like flight, everything.
Yeah.
So I'm packing my bags. I don't look good this day because I was like, I'm getting on a plane. So like, I have no makeup on, a beanie, a hoodie, sweats, zipping up
Airport.
a huge, like, airport
Yes.
ugly, like
Lesbian Nation would
Like-
definitely say you are masked this day.
right. Like, it's giving TSA's like, thank you, sir. And I'm like, right. right. So I'm literally just like packing my stuff and I'm sitting with my friend. I see my phone start to ring and it's her. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I don't answer phone calls. I'm the generation where we're like, phone, no.
Yeah.
Do you answer FaceTimes though?
Gosh, don't FaceTime me.
What?
No.
We're
What?
freaks, though.
Oh,
Older.
we're freaks.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's calling me. And I'm like, oh, no. And so I threw the phone to my friend. Her name's Bree. I threw the phone to Bree. And Bree's like, well, what am I supposed to do? She throws the phone back to me. She's like, Regan, pick up the phone. Throws the phone back. I answer. I'm like, hello? She was like, hey, what are you guys on the way to the airport? Like, are you about to leave? And I was like, in like an hour and a half.
This
And she
girl
was
has
like,
some balls.
it's the Jersey. It's the East Coast.
Like, hey, I know you're leaving in an hour.
Yeah.
You want a coffee?
She literally on the phone is just like, I feel like I can't let you leave without seeing you in real life.
On some notebook.
I'm like, okay, that's cool. I look ugly. So no, like that's not happening. And she was like, it's probably only like 25 minutes away. I'm like, I guess, okay, like I'll see you. Like I don't sound that excited because I'm like, I look ugly.
I
That's
get it,
all
I
that
get
could
it.
go
Yeah,
in my head. I'm
this
like,
is-
I look
Plus you
ugly.
waited 2 days.
I waited 2 days and I look ugly.
So you're saying a femme girl, like getting ready for a first meetup is like a homosexual male when they're prepping for like an...
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Also, the hair on my head, like it was in a beanie. Like there was no way that I could go do my hair, have it dry, have it blah. So I was like, I have to commit to being not the version of myself that I would want this person to see.
Yeah, like
you know what I
first
mean?
love that,
I'm like,
though. I love that. I want to see like
You do say this.
everything raw, unfiltered, unedited, like day one.
You do say that,
That's why I
yeah.
fart
Really?
on day 2. Because we just need to get everything out in the open. Because if I don't like the scent,
The scent again.
then you know it's not going to work.
I do. I'm really unfiltered. I was fooled. For 6 months, I was pursuing a girl because she thought I was a player. And so she made me wait 6 months before she let me in there. It just so happens that it was the dead heat of summer in New York when we finally whatever. And so when we were mating and I caught a whiff of the pit, it was unpleasant. And so then I became her nightmare and I was the player that she thought I was because I was
couldn't
pursuing her for
handle
6
it.
months and I couldn't handle her scent. So now I try to whiff early.
Do you ever like really like the smell of somebody's sweat then?
Oh,
Yes, she
Okay.
does.
Okay, then that makes sense.
Oh,
then that makes sense.
Really?
I mean,
Then that's
like I will lick a human dry if I love your scent. Like
it's
I
not for
am
me either.
in there.
It's not
Like
for me either.
it happened the other day.
I bet.
It was after a fitness regimen. She came in and I was like, I need to smell you.
I can't.
And I smelled her and I was like, nah, I must lick you dry.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's just an animal thing.
okay.
It's not for everybody.
I
No, it's
respect it.
not.
But it is for me.
I respect it.
Which
Yeah.
is fine.
Not
So
fully
if
for me.
somebody was like, "That's what I want to do. I want to lick you of your sweat dry," you say you would
No, I
always
wouldn't
try
care.
once.
I wouldn't care if it was happening to me, but it's not for me to
Okay,
do to
so it's
someone.
not for your tongue to lick someone else's sweat.
Yeah, but if it was happening to me, it's like whatever. I don't care.
So
Go
you-
ahead. That's how I
That's
feel.
what you want to do.
I
Like,
feel like go ahead.
Yeah,
Like if it doesn't
I'm
tickle
not
too much.
expecting you to lick
Like
me
if it
dry.
tickles too much, then I don't know. But like it's fine.
Don't you think it shows commitment, joy, and passion?
Yes.
All of the above.
Yeah, commitment, joy, and passion.
Yeah, for you.
I think so.
I do too. And I just want to express that to my mate.
The celebration of your mate.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, okay, hold on.
Sorry.
We went.
Jersey and you met up. So what
No,
happens?
no. You said she was going to come.
She ended up being an hour away, and I had like an hour and like 45 minutes
Oh,
till
so
we had to
45.
like be on the way to the airport. And so she's like speeding down the parkway, like, and so she gets there. She has a Jeep, of course. I'm like, right.
What do you mean? Right. Like a Jeep is your fantasy vehicle.
No, it was just
for
like
a girlfriend to roll up. You were like, it's destiny. She has a Jeep.
No, it's just like, oh, very stereotypical. Like I was like, you have a blue Jeep. Like I was like, and
I feel like a Bronco is like same vibe.
I feel like every
Yeah.
lesbian I know has a Jeep.
Really?
Everyone has a Jeep. And so I'm in this house with Bree, and all of her siblings are also in there. Everyone's looking through the window, staring at her. And she's like, she gets out of her car, then gets back in it, then gets out. And I was like, she's deciding if she should walk up to the door or not, which she ended up not. And I was like, good, because like, no, I don't like that. Like, stay over there. I'll come over there. So then I like walk out. I feel like I look horrible, but I'm like, okay. And so I get in her Jeep, and she was like, we don't have time to really like go eat. We don't have time. She was like, do you smoke? I was like, no. And she was like, okay, well, we can't do that. And she was like, well, there's a park right there. I was like, okay. So I was also way more enthusiastic. I wasn't just like, yeah, sure. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. So then we go to the park. We sit on the bleachers.
So
And,
gay
yeah.
to go to the park.
And for some reason
love
with
it.
her, I just was like, within the first 2 minutes, I was like, okay, so my dad did this when I was really young, and then my mom got us banned from here, and then blah, blah, blah. And I was just like,
Word vomiting.
You
It just-
diarrhea trauma bonded, which is exactly what lesbians do in the
Yeah.
first 5 seconds.
but the thing is I hadn't done that with anyone else I've been on dates with. Like, I was so like,
Wow.
you tell me about your life, and I take it in, and you don't really know much about me.
Yeah.
And so, and that's unusual for me because I do like sharing. But with her, I was like, okay, so I can just tell you all. And
You
she
felt
was
comfortable.
Yeah, and she was the person that was kind of just like, okay, all right, sure. So I was like, I
Wow.
like that. And all of this is happening in the span of 30 minutes. And so then my phone rings, I turn and look, and it's just like my friend being like, I'm assuming you guys are kissing. And I was laughing because this had been my MO. You know, this had been my thing. Go on a date, make out with somebody, leave.
In the first 30 minutes.
I don't know. You know? I don't know. You know, life happened and I was enjoying it.
And you leave
Um,
because you don't enjoy the makeout?
Or you're over it.
No, I'm very like,
This is what you get and that's it.
no. Like, it would be like full days. Like, I'm like big on like, if we're gonna go out and do something, then we're gonna really have an experience. So it would be like full out experiences and dates and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, oh, this is not really what I want. And I don't know how to really do this. Like, I feel like gay men are really good at this. But I'm like, for me, like, I was like, I don't know how to do this.
So you would seal each failed date with a beautiful kiss before you never call them again.
No, see, then I
I
would
like it. I like it.
No, it's like, this is your gift from me to you.
Yeah.
And then I leave.
But I would never be the person that's like, we should kiss, you know?
No, you're not initiating it.
I wasn't, because I felt like, I'm like, if I don't feel like this is working, I feel bad. That's the Cancer in me. I feel bad. But then they would initiate it, and then I'd be like, all right, I'm not going to say no. Like, there would be people that, like I said, were crazy.
Yeah.
I'm telling my friends. They realize this person's crazy. I'm like, but she wanted to kiss me at the end, so why not? Like, it's all right. I'll think about that a different day.
That's good that you stay away from crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't, crazy
good.
times crazy doesn't always work. It doesn't
No, it
always
never
work.
works. But listen,
Sometimes good time for a little bit of time.
yeah, it's good memes for the memories.
It's good memes. It's great memes.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm a little scared.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
It should be a little scary.
Just a tad. I mean, I'm a little scared in a good way for my relationship, because I'm like, oh, like, you're strong, but not scared in the way of like, oh, you're crazy. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if they were strong and crazy,
You're like,
then
okay.
I'd be like, you can kill me.
Right.
At
That's my
any
dream
moment.
to be
I know.
strong and crazy. I can't.
Which, like, MMA, there's a lot that are strong and crazy.
Oh
so
my God,
you
I'm
don't
sure.
know.
Oh
And
my
like, you're like
God.
kind of nervous, where you're like,
Chock
okay,
full.
are you gonna be like that type, or are you gonna be like this type?
Yeah.
But yeah, at our date, I looked over and my friend was like, are you guys kissing yet? I was like, ha ha ha, so funny. And so then she's like, what are you laughing at? I was like, oh, she asked if I was kissing you yet. And then she was like, oh, is that like what you do? I was like, not necessarily, but like I'm in like a good time in my life right now. And then she was like, so are you saying you want us to kiss? I'm like, I didn't say that. So then she literally like grabs my whole body. We're in a public park, grabs my whole body. I'm so sorry. My mom listens to my podcast. Grabs my whole body and like it's like on top of hers. And then we just start making out. And in my head, I was like, right. Period. Who cares about these people running around in the park? Who cares about the family having a picnic? Who cares about that? And so then I was
care.
like, no. I was like, yeah, I think that girl's gonna be my girlfriend. So then she brought me back, and so then she was like, I'm so glad we got to actually meet in real life. Like, really sweet. And my last thing I said to her was like, LOL, might ghost, and then walked away from the car and went back in the house.
Wow,
and
a cold assassin.
Yeah.
I like
might
it.
ghost. I like it because it instills a little bit.
Yeah,
it puts you.
And the thing is, that's exactly what it did, because then she was like, what? She said she kept thinking about, what do I text her when she's at the airport before she gets on a plane? What do I say to make, like, I obviously don't live near you because.
she's ruminating.
I like that.
I really just said it as like a joke, because I said LOL for in real life. I was like, LOL, my ghost, but this was fun.
I mean, silly.
LOL, but you're a master at what you do.
And the thing is I said it because I knew I wasn't. Like, I knew in that moment, I was like, I really like this person. And my birthday was like a week and a half later. And we were just like talking continuously from that point. And then on my birthday, she sent me like huge flowers to my house. And I was like, so cute. Love that.
I was thinking flew out.
I thought that too.
And then sends me a text message saying I have a flight to LA. And I was like,
see? Wow.
I was like, as you should.
You're very romantic though too.
I am a sucker
I'm like,
for
fly
love.
out. Why not?
And then she stayed with you?
Yeah, she did.
So wait, you had her stay with you and you had met this person for 30 minutes in the park.
Yeah.
Lesbian.
Yeah. Actually, she had a ticket to fly out to LA. She had a fight. That was when she was going pro. Beat the girl up, won, and then she was flying out like after her fight. And then I had booked something that made me go to New York. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to be in New York. They gave me this hotel room, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to come stay with me? And so then she stayed with me in New York. And then she came to LA like 2 weeks later.
Okay.
When she gets into fights, do you care like for her wounds after the fight? I'm sorry, I keep being like an astrology person, but she's a Virgo and she's so... Are you a Virgo?
Yeah.
I am.
Are you hard on yourself?
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay. So then I'm like, you would know. Like,
no,
you would
like,
but here, okay, so here's the thing, and I've gotten into conversations about this. For me, I'm like, I'm already beating myself up.
Yeah.
What I need the night of is I need like, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. And then the next day, could even be in the morning.
You would ask.
You're like,
you can tell me like all the that, and I will go through it with you and be like, yeah. But for some reason that night, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. But the thing about Virgos to me are tricky because that's how they all operate. It's like, I'm already beating myself up. I don't want to hear it. So then you don't give it to them. Then she goes into the thing where she's criticizing herself so much and then outwardly asking you. So then it's like, well, what do I do?
No,
You're
if she's asking
me.
you tell, I'm sorry.
So now I'm like,
in a nice way.
No,
yeah, and
ask,
I definitely try to be like very like kind about that part of it. And it's some stuff, it's like, I'm not a professional fighter, so I don't fully know certain things. But it's like, I'll be like, oh, the coaches were saying this over here, that you weren't doing this, blah, blah, blah. And then she'll like listen to it.
I think too, you know what? It may be something too, because you're successful, you're an actress, you're a rapper, like you do all these things. So it's like, you know what it takes to get to this level. But also it's like, to a certain degree, it's not like everybody tells you you're so great, you're so great, you're so great. And that's how you became great.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's part of it.
I think there's a lot of similar things about the fighting world and entertainment world that cross over. If I feel like I did terrible on set or blah, 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 like she can be like, well, no one else thought that, or they all are going to say you did amazing. I'm like, it doesn't matter what they say. It's what I feel. So we both have like the understanding of how to navigate that area.
Yeah.
And what's the right thing to say to you when you come home and you're like, I did terrible?
Oh, for me, there's nothing because I'm not a Virgo. I'm a Cancer. So I'm emotional in a sense of I'm a Cancer with a lot of Leo placements. So it's like emotional ego things. So it's like my ego is tumbling and I'm spiraling. And so you being like, but it's okay. You'll do better. I don't want to hear that. It's okay. I don't want to. I don't
so
want
nothing
any
will
of that.
stop your spiral.
No. until I'm ready to be
Let
done
me
with
be.
it. Yeah.
So you just want to be left in your
I'm the fucking same.
yeah,
I don't want to talk about
pinwheel until you get tired.
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I'm the same. I don't want to talk about it.
It's
I'm
good that
not
you
in
pick somebody.
therapy.
Oh,
I'm not in therapy because my last therapist showed up on set as a stylist and I was freaking out.
Oh my God, so she's a therapist and a stylist?
Yes. And then she was like, don't worry, I'm not going to tell anyone. I was like, I don't think you can. Like,
That's
isn't there
so
like laws?
weird.
yeah, there's laws.
Wait,
HIPAA?
why would you be a
do it? And a
therapist and a
stylist.
stylist?
Is HIPAA?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
HIPAA.
Yeah, so right. HIPAA, you can't tell people this. Like,
No.
Yeah,
She
literally
can't even come up to you. It's like actually you have
No,
to
they
go
have
to
to
her.
pretend. I remember I
Yeah,
had
it's
a
just
gay
cosplay is
therapist.
like, never saw you.
I had a gay therapist that was like, listen, we're both gay. We're going to
might
be
see
out
each
in the world. We might see each other. And if we do, I'm never going to say hello to you.
Yeah.
valid.
And I'm like, I want to say hello.
And
but
they say you can. And if you say hi
no,
to
she
me-
was like, don't come up to me. And I was like, okay.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You're
I
allowed.
think.
The stylist had like, or stylist therapist had
That's
asked me. She was like, "Well,
stylist
if it makes you
therapist.
uncomfortable, please let me know." And I was like, "The job is tomorrow morning. Like,
Bitch,
what?
it's too late.
What am I supposed to do?"
What can you
yeah,
do?
literally, like a day prior was the first time I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna really try like this, fully let myself cry."
Oh,
I'm like
no.
talking about my father. I'm talking about craziness, and I'm like, now I have to see. You're supposed to be on the computer. Like, you're not
Yeah,
real.
I don't have to see you again for
Now-
another week.
You're
So
here.
you can cry on command.
Yes and no. Some people can literally sit there and just like drop tears. I can't do that. I give myself a panic attack to cry.
So have you ever used that in a fight with your significant other?
No. No.
I would.
I would too, if I could.
I just wish I could.
But I
cry.
don't think tears work on some of my, like they would have no.
No.
They're
like, we
they
don't
wouldn't care. They would be like,
Like, shut up.
yeah, they'd be
What are
like,
you doing?
whatever, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you
Oh,
doing?
wait, that's so sad.
What are you doing? That's what.
Maybe sometimes it would work, but it'd have to be very like select few times.
You'd have to mean it.
Oh yeah, you'd have to really dig deep.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done that.
When I was little, I could cry on command with the migraines.
Like, give me medication. You see the tears.
You're such a freak.
I had to sell it. I really didn't want to be in class.
That's real.
Yeah, I had to sell it. But now I don't know how.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you could channel it.
I
if you
wish I
tried.
could.
Yeah.
You definitely can.
Sometimes if I laugh really hard, I start crying, but that's obviously different.
I did a like horror movie and I had to like really, really bawl my eyes out. And I was like, oh, I've never done that before. Like,
Do you have to
hopefully
like
it
go to
goes
the
well.
side? Or no, because they're like just filming you.
That's what I was like planning to do. I was like, let me go give myself a panic attack in the corner. Like, being
so
like,
wild.
and like, let me do it in the corner. And so then they were like I was like, just give me a heads up of when we're going to film this so I can do that. Like, let me have the space. And so they were like, we're going to do it after lunch. I'm like, great. So they're doing the lead up to the scene. And then they were like, you know what? The vibes are so high. Just do it. And I was like,
It's like
what
the
do you
fuck?
mean?
I need a minute.
What do you mean? So like as my character's running, I'm like breathing so hard where it's like I can feel like I can hear it. And I like have to like drop to the ground and like cry over somebody. And it just ended up like naturally just like fully like coming out. And I think it was the fact that I was like kind of angry that I had to do it
Yeah.
on no notice, being scared that it wasn't going to be out where I literally just was panicking. And so then I was like boo-hoo crying and I was like, oh, okay, I can do it. Like, it's all right. And they
Holy
were like,
shit.
great.
God,
you did
that's
amazing.
star mentality right there.
Like,
Oh, you
God,
showed
it's like
up.
when it really comes down to it and you need to produce.
Yeah, you have to.
do.
yeah. There was only one other time, which will have to be bleeped because
We won't say.
I had an insane opportunity and I came down to 3 girls. And every time I see it, I want to kind of stab myself.
Oh.
No, you'll
Um,
get a different one.
But it was with as an actor, it's crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So I was doing the second screen test with him, and they were like giving us just yelling directions. They were like, who cares about the script? Just go, just go. And so,
Oh, it's so stressful.
yeah,
I'm
he's
getting
like
stressed
supposed to
right
be
now.
Diarrhea.
like, yeah, like I'm like, oh, you're
Yeah.
telling me to go with like somebody that's been acting and known as one of the greatest actors in the world. And so he was like, who cares about the script? Just go, just go. And so I was like, panic, 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 just do it, just do it. And so I just start hitting him. And I was like, hopefully he doesn't sue me and I
Fuck
don't
him.
get in
I feel like
trouble.
always fair in like a test, no?
Yeah. And when actors are really in it, they're kind of like expecting little things. And it's like, I'm a small girl. This is a grown man.
He
He's
should
not
be
I
gonna
fine.
care.
really
Yeah,
doubt it's gonna
he's
hurt
not.
him.
So
he's
I'm like,
solid. He's built like a brick shit
Guy.
house.
Yeah, he's fat
he
as
is.
hell
But now he is. Yeah.
It was crazy. So I'm just like hitting him. And that was like one of the first times where I was like, my brain was like, he yells, cry. And I was like, you have to. There is no time for anything else. You have to. And so I don't know. It just came over me and it was boo-hooing, crying.
It worked.
And so I think that was also, again, like when the stakes are high enough, it forces you to. But if you don't have stakes, it's kind of like, I'm not going to cry on command. Like,
goddamn.
And then, you find out sometimes, like, other people you work with are like, oh, you're going over this person's house? Oh, at nighttime? Oh, and you're this age and he's...
Fucking to the top.
I mean, some people do. Some people do.
Listen.
I know you would.
I think last episode I was like, I'd my way to the top. It'll come out in a few
depends.
weeks.
It honestly depends. I have to say that.
We did
like,
talk
if
about
it's
this
a
last
scary to the top, like where it's like, whatever. But if it's a lesbian...
But she stinks really bad.
That's fine. Like, I won't do it with a man, but I'll do it with a woman.
Usually it's the man.
I know.
The worst one you
the
can
industry
think of.
The worst. Man. Yeah. Like, horrifying.
Do you guys like older than you?
No, but I'll do it.
Listen.
I'm assuming that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm married to a man.
Okay.
And I think I would anybody to get to the top if I had to.
So you would go stinky, like...
I'd go stinky anyone.
Oh.
But it's like, here's the thing. It's like...
No, you wouldn't.
I'm saying right now, but the truth is, like, pre-sobriety, like, yeah, like, I would do anything.
If you were on...
Even if I was, like, just drunk, like, it's fine. Like, it's fine. Like, I could
liquored
do it drunk.
up?
That's fine.
So drunk, anything goes.
Yeah, drunk, anything goes.
No, for me, it would have to be, like, anything goes.
No, I could do alcohol. I'd be okay.
No.
I would do it. A different era, though. I'd like to say, like, oh, I could do it right now. No, I can't.
Right. You'd have to be intoxicated.
Yeah, I don't have it in me.
But intoxicated, you would go.
Absolutely. If it meant that this pod goes to the top, I would absolutely.
Okay, number one, I have a scenario.
Yeah.
I have a scenario.
Go ahead.
And I said this actually at a family function.
Oh, my God.
Okay. At Thanksgiving dinner.
Just to preface it. No, it was my 81-year-old aunt's birthday party.
Okay.
And we're all there and I'm whispering in my cousin's ear. And here's the scenario. You have to sleep with a horrific man. Okay. However, you don't know the terms and conditions.
Okay.
He wants 6 hours with you.
That's a lot.
You don't know what's going to happen in that amount of time. He can do whatever he wants to you, but you live with all appendages. That's the terms and conditions. Other than that, you have no idea what this man's going to do to you.
Okay. But what am I getting?
Everything.
Anything I ever wanted?
Ever.
But my face won't be burned, right?
No. She
loves to put your face gets burned. That's why.
I do.
Why?
Because I want to know
like
how
buckles.
hardcore.
So random.
Yeah. Let the face burn.
But you get everything.
I would do it. 6 hours?
You live with everything intact.
Fine. 6 hours, not a big deal.
What do you? It's going to be a big deal.
6 hours for anything I want ever.
You're going to be terrorized, dude.
It's literally like
I'll pay for therapy.
Gonna be terrorized.
Cool.
So many men have the weirdest and scariest like fantasies to like.
Yeah, I know they're sick. I lived with a dominatrix for a while. Like what? He's gonna poop in my mouth or something?
No, dude. More horrific. He's gonna torture you.
But I get anything I want.
Yes.
You guys, I don't know.
You're like.
But this is the problem. Like, I like to say yes to this stuff, but it's like also like, I don't know.
At
like,
the end of the day, you don't know what you're going to decide in the end. I always say that. But some people would choose yes, and some people would choose no.
I would need to see like the money.
You're like, I need it
show me the money
in front of me, like in
in
the
a
room.
suitcase of like, this is just even like a sliver of what your stupid little brain can understand, Tallulah.
I don't think I could do the torture.
But you don't know.
No, I do because I don't.
You just
like
have
pain.
to tell yourself in your head that I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know.
No. I'm not as sick as you. You could go into darker place. I would send you in. I would send you in.
You have to pretend
You're like,
it's
do it
not
for everyone.
You. Like,
yeah, no. I would say
you.
if you're down, I would send you. I would be like, I have a friend.
If you were the broker that got this deal set, I would give you some.
What would it be for the pod? What do you mean?
No, you said anything I ever want ever for everything.
Yeah, ever. Forever.
Yeah, so that's like money, that's houses. I would give you like whatever. If you brokered that.
Listen, I could broker that.
Whatever. We can talk about this after pod.
Yeah, we'll talk after pod. Anyways.
Like what billionaire?
I wonder how many people would select yes.
Can we please like not even make a clip and just ask them? Like put a poll?
They would be horrified at what we're saying.
Do you think?
I don't even know.
No, they might actually. Yeah. I think I would say no.
Yeah. I mean, listen, free will. You can enter at your own will. So it's very Squid Games,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but what dies is your soul.
I don't really care. I'll
When
buy
you
a
enter
new
the
one.
room.
I'm not going to be in that room for 6 hours. My brain is going to go into somewhere else land.
That's true.
I'll
But
just
that's dark stuff.
unscrew it.
That's dark
Yeah,
stuff.
that's very
That's
dark.
dark
That's
stuff.
Where it's
horrible.
going. Listen,
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys,
That's
I'm not saying it's right. I'm
horrible.
just saying
Yeah, it's
that's
not
what
right.
I would do.
We're not saying it's right, but you do have the choice. Yes or no.
So it's a no for you, and it's a
Maybe.
maybe.
I might.
I think you
I
would.
just could not.
Okay. Anyways, please continue our discussion on Patreon with us, with Regan Aaliyah. Regan, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything that you want to plug?
All my socials are just Regan Aaliyah. That's simple. Oh, I'm dropping music.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't done that in a long time, and I'm dropping music with my sister, which is really cool.
And Ironheart is out when?
Ironheart is out June 24th, the first episode. It's a weekly show. I don't know, by the time this airs, I'll probably be in Korea, so
You will be
yeah.
in Korea filming season 3
season 3.
of XO Kitty.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for joining our insane program. And
Loved
we
it.
So
had
fun.
the best time ever with you. Yeah. Adios.
Adios.